Hello, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started. Okay, today is Monday, November 18th, 2024. This is the Gary Sanitary District meeting. Will everyone please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, next we have roll call to establish quorum.
Commissioner William Allen.
Present.
Commissioner Ola Morris.
Present.
Commissioner Maurice Mabon.
Present.
Commissioner Darnell Lyles.
Present.
Commissioner Willie Cook.
Present?
Attorney Jewel Harris Jr.
Present.
Interim Executive Director Brenda Scott Henry.
Present.
Finance Manager Jerome Foster.
Present.
And that's the end of roll call.
With all in attendance, we have a quorum. Next is certification. Pursuant to Indiana law, section 5-14-1.5 through 6.1, I certify that prior to the start of today's meeting, there was an executive session held. There was nothing discussed in the session that was not indicated on the posted notice. And being in compliance with Indiana statutes, there were no final votes held during the session. Does any member dissent? Hearing none, we'll move on to minutes.
Okay, Mr. Chair, I make a motion to accept the executive session and regular minute meetings of November 4, 2024.
I second it, Mr. Chair.
Motion's been made and properly second for approval of minutes for the regular meeting of November 4th. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Commissioner Cook.
Yes.
Commissioner Lyles.
Yes.
Commissioner Mabon.
Yes.
Commissioner Morris.
Yes.
Commissioner Allen.
Yes.
The vote is 5 ayes, 0 noes.
With 5 ayes and 0 noes, the minutes have been approved. Next, we have new business. 2.1, Mr. Foster.
Thank you. I make a motion to approve and ratify GSD payroll earnings for period ending October 21st, 2024 through November 3rd, 2024 in the amount of $254,800.71.
We have a recommendation for approval of payroll in the amount of $254,800.71. What is the pleasure of the board?
Move for passage?
Did you get a motion?
Motion's been made and properly second. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call for 2.1.
Commissioner Cook.
Yes.
Commissioner Lyles.
Yes.
Commissioner Mabon.
Yes.
Commissioner Morris.
Yes.
Commissioner Allen.
Yes.
The vote is 5 ayes, 0 noes.
With 5 ayes and 0 noes, payroll has been approved. Next, we have 2.2.
2.2 is a motion to approve GSD Resolution SD 24-05, authorizing the Sanitary District to dispose of obsolete computer equipment. You have a resolution that was prepared by our attorney. I'm going to ask our Director, Matt Hinkle, to come up and give you an overview of the type of equipment that we're saying that is obsolete.
Hello.
Hello.
Bulk of this is actually computers that are long prior to maybe my arrival here, 10, 20, 30 range, honestly. It's a lot of old servers. Some of the newer equipment is stuff that was breached during the hack a year ago. And then there's also some other old copiers that were also long past their useful life.
Do we give this to a particular contractor? Or is it
It's a recycling company. We solicited both through the city recycling department, but then we had to find another one that will also take it for free and pick it up for us. But yeah,
Oh, okay.
So we don't earn any money on
we
it?
don't earn any money, but we don't pay for it. I know when I worked at the city, we had a lot of trouble every once in a while. Some people wouldn't make us pay partial and some wouldn't, but they're merging it all together in that sense.
There's a lot of blackberries on there.
One of them might be yours. Huh?
There were definitely a lot of nice museum pieces at
I
this
think you
point.
should have put those on eBay.
There would definitely be a collector out there that would be looking for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do employees get a chance to
That's never, I know when I worked at the city, that was never actually a consideration. I mean, we could do that if that was the case. All the current, any actual secure data has been removed already, but
Okay.
yeah,
Just basic stuff then.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Do they have the stuff already, or they're coming to get it?
Until approval, we just have it currently, we just have a listing of it all.
Is it all in one place, like in one of the garages? or-
It's in our server room at this point, it's just taking up space, we need the space.
You want to get it out of there?
Yeah,
Yes.
a lot of it was when I first came in, I'm like, oh, this is a lot of junk. Yeah.
Sounds like it's going to be a break-in.
I do have a question. Is it open for employees if they wanted to?
I don't know what I would question for attorney, but yeah.
The board would have to develop a
Uh,
program.
'cause we
Well,
definitely
you would
do
have to
that.
recommend a program, and the board would have to approve it.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
Not
definitely
at this time.
not this
Maybe
time.
next time.
Okay.
Not at this time.
But these were breached.
Do we have any other questions or comments?
Nope.
Okay, hearing none.
You got a question?
No, no question,
on that?
no
Okay.
question.
So there's a recommendation for approval for 2.2. What is the pleasure of the board?
Second, Mr. Chair.
Motion's been made and properly second for 2.2. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Commissioner Cook?
Yes.
Commissioner Lyles?
Yes.
Commissioner Maybon?
Yes.
Commissioner Morris?
Yes.
Commissioner Allen?
Yes.
The vote is 5 ayes, 0 noes.
With 5 ayes and 0 noes, 2.2 has been approved. Moving on to 2.3.
Oh, hold on. 2.3 is a motion to approve GSD Resolution SD 24-06, approving incentive pay by the Gary Sanitary District to certain Gary Sanitary District employees. We've asked Attorney Harris to prepare a resolution. The city of Gary provided incentive pay to all of its employees, both civil and public safety. The sanitary district has in the past provided merit pay. Merit pay is based upon performance evaluation. This year, we were asking that all employees receive the incentive pay in lieu of the merit pay for incentives. I mean, just to incentivize our employees for the work that they've done throughout the year. If it's in addition information, Attorney Harris, you want to add? Board?
No, the resolution just outlines that in this instance, with changes in administration and leadership at GSD, it is more appropriate to have an incentive-based payment as opposed to merit, where there's not adequate opportunity to review performance, et cetera. So for 2024, this would be incentive pay flat across the board for all employees.
I think that there may be a possible amendment to it, because I think merit pay will be looked at for commissioners.
I think that is currently under review, and upon approval, we can bring that back to the board as an amendment.
Okay?
Yep.
All right, thank you.
Anything else to add? Okay, hearing none, that there's a recommendation for 2.3, which is approving incentive pay. What is the pleasure of the board?
So moved, Mr. Chair. Second.
Motion's been made and properly second for 2.3. Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, roll call for 2.3.
Commissioner Cook?
Yes.
Commissioner Lyles?
Yes.
Commissioner Maybon?
Yes.
Commissioner Morris?
Yes.
Commissioner Allen?
Yes.
The vote is 5 ayes, 0 noes.
With 5 ayes and 0 noes, 2.3 has been approved. Next brings us to 2.4.
2.4 is a motion to approve retaining Cigna insurance for healthcare coverage for Gary Sanitary District employees. We'll have the same thing for stormwater employees, but I want to thank our team and the Board of Commissioners for your input into this process. We wanted to make sure that it was inclusive, that we could bring the best product possible this year to include savings that we've identified by using our new broker, and then really having options to choose from the insurance products that we have. So Our recommendation was to select Cigna of several insurance carriers that we have. Is that the savings? Yes, we will have a 14.8% savings in our insurance by staying with Cigna. Thank you, Mr. Ryan.
I have a question, Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Did we hear back from the representative relative to the amount allowed for dental
And life insurance.
and the life insurance?
So, what is his name? Glaros was here earlier for us, but they had a previous appointment, so they had to leave. But we still have those questions out to them, right? So you want to approve pending?
No, we're
No,
approving.
No, we can
We're
approve
approving.
it, yeah.
Okay.
But the other things would probably be ancillary, but, I mean, you did an outstanding job on it, and the savings on this thing, I mean, just the fees, brokerage fees alone, we're talking about $600,000.
Yes.
Then you've got a 15% decrease in the premiums, and then there's a lock-in, is it 2-year, or what's the lock-in, 9%, or?
I believe it was 9% was discussed.
So, you know, and
That's a cap, actually, not lock-in, it's a cap.
2026.
Yes, for 2026, it's a cap.
And with the cost of healthcare just spiraling, you know, we're able to better protect our employees. In addition to that, there's some other things within Cigna that we may be able to take advantage of. And the savings that we currently have, we can maybe earmark some of that for some of the other things. And then there's a possible merger with Humana.
No, that's been canceled. I saw that over the news this week.
Oh, it's been canceled?
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Yeah. But just by us going through the competitive process, it really helped us to save money. So I appreciate everybody's input.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you did a great job.
One more thing, Mr.
It's a cat-like policy. It's a great policy. When we get the dental.
One last thing, because a number was actually stated, there's actually a $500,000 savings over, and the effect is 14.8% in overall, just to make sure we clear with everybody in the room.
Well, 14.8%, if we don't have incidents, can run up to 22, 23%. So you're being specific.
Very.
So there was a recommendation for approval for 2.4. What is the pleasure of the board?
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion's been made and properly second. For 2.4, any discussion? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Cook?
Yes.
Commissioner Liles?
Yes.
Commissioner Maybon?
Yes.
Commissioner Morris?
Yes.
Commissioner Allen?
Yes.
The vote is 5 ayes, 0 noes.
With 5 ayes and 0 noes, 2.4 has been approved. Next brings us to claims. 3.1, Mr. Foster.
Thank you. I'll make a motion to approve and ratify GSD claim numbers 2586 through 2654 in amount of $428,129.96.
Mr. Foster, got a question for you on claims. There's 30 items on here that obviously, if you look at the reviewed column on the claims, you'll see that they haven't been reviewed. And so that's a substantial number. Is there a reason for that? Beg your pardon?
They're actually reviewed, those were not inputted into the line item columns, so I would need to go back and take a look at those to make sure that they're inputted before they're signed off.
So they were reviewed, Commissioner. It's just the spreadsheet needs to be updated.
Okay.
Any other comments, questions for 3.1? Okay, hearing none, what is the pleasure of the board for 3.1 claims?
Move for passage.
Is there a second?
One second.
Motion's been made and properly second. Again, any discussions? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Commissioner Cook?
Yes.
Commissioner Liles?
Yes.
Commissioner Maybon?
Yes.
Commissioner Morris,
Yes.
Commissioner Allen.
Yes.
The vote is 5 ayes, 0 noes.
For 5 ayes and 0 noes, the claims have been approved. Next, we have information updates, plant operations.
Oh, just 1 second. Let's can we go back to claims for a second?
Okay. What page?
Where is it at? I'll find it here. From 2620 to 2624.
Days.
And that's Days Paving. And what does that work? Because I haven't seen any contracts that come through for sewer repair. So, yeah, it's got the addresses on there, but where's most times there would be sewer repairs. This work would be following up on sewer repair. It would be paving, correct?
Yes, we do repair, okay, we do in-house construction work. So we tear up the road or the pavement, we have to fix it. So, I mean, that may be one of the jobs that
So
this asphalt did.
Okay, so he's providing this service based on the jobs that you do in-house.
Yes.
As opposed to a third party doing the work.
That's correct.
Okay, so this is a part of your in-house
Job,
work now.
yeah.
Okay.
So, okay, plant operation.
Yes, just want to give the board and progress update on the regarding the long-term control plan and then consent decree. GSD and the city met with and the Department of Justice and the regulators 2 times since the last board meeting. The first one was on the 8th of November, and then another one we had last Friday. Last Friday was a technical session. There was a rigorous technical session about what we can really, the capacity of the plant, what we can really process through the plant, not just pushing water through, and then how we can avoid or to reduce CSO at the 25th and Georgia. I think after an extensive discussion, they decided, okay, we suggested an alternative to the locations for storage that they were pressing us to do at Ironwood, in the corridor of Ironwood. And we were proposing an inline underground storage that is already in existence. So they said they're going to look into it. They are expecting us to do some modeling on it to convince them that that will really do the job of reducing the CSO.
And so once we receive feedback from the regulators, we probably will be proposing to the board a task order so that we can, or service order so that we can get the modeling done for these alternative sites. We also identified 2 other locations that are properties owned by the city of Gary, which is on 33rd and 33rd Avenue, one closer to Virginia, other one is closer to Connecticut Street, where we already have existing infrastructure. So those were some alternative locations that we submitted to the regulators as for storage. But we're hopeful that this inline storage that we've identified to them, they'll give us the approval to move forward with modeling, assessing and modeling.
Wouldn't we have to get approval from city council first?
Well, not for the modeling, but we just need to model it, just to see if it has the potentials to do what we need it to do.
Well,
So-
I'm saying that because we've selected a location 25th in Georgia?
Well, we haven't we just offered some options to them. There are 3 options that we provided. So in the long-term control plan, if you recall, it was Carver School and Ironwood Park. Those hadn't been approved either. They were just potential sites that were holding spaces for the storage that must be done. So,
But 25th in Georgia is basically the Carver
yeah, that's
area.
it, yeah.
It's just a fence that separates the two.
Well, actually, Carver, then the other location was Ironwood Park, which is a railroad that separates the two. But we're trying to find other locations that would be more ideal for storage. And one other thing,
I think a great location would probably be like in Miller on Lakeshore Drive.
Oh, you got jokes.
so, Commissioner, we're working really diligently to make sure that we can find some alternative that's underground,
Okay.
and we'll be coming to you for some approval to model those.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, back in the plant, we continue doing making progress on the improvements throughout and the processes in the plant. As of now, we are kind of driving energy conservation throughout the plant, in the sense that we are getting towards the cold season, and we noticed a jump in energy bill, and the only way to cut down this is to make sure that exterior doors are closed, so that we don't heat the outside air, and also vehicles are not kept running idle, so we can save on gas and things like that. So,
Where do we buy our gas from, Cola? Pinkerton? Okay. Do we ever bid that out?
I think so.
It's never came before the board.
I don't think Pinkerton.
I don't
Is that tied
recall.
into purchasing, or?
I haven't seen it bid.
We don't get gas from, I've seen it on
No, I said, he said bid.
bid. Oh,
I know it's a commodity item, but do we?
I think there have been quotes sought in the past. I don't know how long ago, but there have been quotes sought in the past.
Is that a part of engineering, or is that a part of purchasing?
That's
I think is it
pyramid.
finance?
So, so let me look into that.
Look into it.
Cole, how would you monitor whether or not they are complying with your directive not to idle?
So what I did was send out memo to every
I
employee.
saw that, but how would you monitor that? That's being followed, that directive is being followed?
I'm going to
Disciplinary actions?
no, he said monitor. How do you
monitor.
How would you know that they're adhering to his directive?
Just,
See whether or not you and
I expect the managers and I expect the employees to be aware that of the waste, and then to cut down on waste, and then do their due diligence.
I understand that. So what would you do? How would you know that they're doing it?
First of all, what I'm trying to do now is to make sure that all external doors are having door closer, that they can close by itself when you are either entering or leaving the building. The other thing is that we just have to keep close eyes. Maybe I need to charge the managers or the supervisors, to keep close watch
Yes.
on those things.
We will, so we do have regular meetings. We will monitor our utility bill, but we do expect our employees to just close the door behind you, right? So just some basic good housekeeping that we're required to do under permit anyway. So just basic good housekeeping. Close the door. Actually, I saw that the some employee was already doing some of the weatherization that we need to do to close out, clearing out the lines so the lines don't freeze. But preventive maintenance is just a part of our operation. It's a basic part of our operation. And we just expect employees to adhere to it.
So part of your request for a safety person, correct?
Is that what you were getting at? That's exactly what we need, a safety person too.
Yeah, that matter of fact, that savings could actually subsidize a salary
It could,
to a certain degree.
and assist with workman's comp, so.
Right.
Thanks. Any questions?
Any questions or comments?
The retention pond on the south side of 20, is that finished yet, Cole?
No,
I haven't seen anybody else. So they're still working on it?
it's still working on it. It's an ongoing, maybe debate, want to report on it?
Should we move into that section before I report, or you want to report on it?
Yeah, just to consider that.
So, yeah, construction is pretty much, at least the grading for the pond is pretty much done. There still has to be some seeding and things of that nature done just to make sure that there's stabilization of the soil around that area. But for the most part, it has been done. Construction is going to continue on those particular parts during the spring. Right now, we're focused on trying to replace the utilities. And I don't want to get too far into it because I know I'm going to have to get into it when I get into my construction report.
Are they gonna stock it with some fish so I can go fish?
That I don't know at all. And maybe you bring some fish back there and dump them in there.
That would work.
Well, you know, if you like Asian carp, they'll be there.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments for Cola?
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Cola.
Cola didn't finish his report, but we do want you guys to know that we are moving forward on repairs to the internal equipment. He has on here primary tank number 9, the digesters. These are things that are really critical for operation of the plant. So those things are moving forward. As I mentioned, we're meeting on a weekly basis to ensure that we are timely with these repairs that need to occur, which definitely helps us to meet the long-term control plan of meeting, just operating at 120 MGD, right? Or 160, is it 60?
I think I'm aggressively moving towards 142 MGD.
Okay,
Yeah.
because that's going to be the requirement, but we're not permitted yet to operate at 142 MGD. We are already moving toward that goal.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Owazika.
Next, we have construction activities.
Greetings, board. I'm back. It's me again. All right, so I'll be doing the progress report for the construction projects. And let's go ahead and just start with the US 20 project. So as I stated before, the property acquisition has almost been finalized, or it has been finalized?
I need 2 checks. I need 2 checks. We can pay into the clerk of the court and we'll have acquired the final 2 properties.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, so right now, the Indiana American Water has been sent their notice to proceed, so the utility locations, relocations can start on the water lines. And that is one of the biggest parts that we need moved to continue construction. So that's a big win. And then in the future, we'll be doing, more utility relocations, of course, after the property acquisition. And then in the spring, we'll be restarting construction on our portion, so the sidewalks and the storm system and such. And then for the 27th and Chase bar screen replacement, the punch list has pretty much been completed. There was a manufacturer's defect on one of the gratings, so that had to be sent back, and that's going to be coming back in so they can install it. But the construction debris has been completely removed from the site, and all of the grates except for the one that had the defect is installed. Then the Lake Street project. The road paving is being done still north of Forest Ave. They're working on the sidewalk and structure south of Juniper. And then there's one lane of traffic between Forest and Hemlock still while they're working on that east side, working on paving the east side. They were out today, but the rain stopped them, so they'll be coming back tomorrow to continue paving. And that is pretty much my report.
And we're still on target for December 2024 for Lake Street.
Yeah, we're still on target for 2024 according to the foreman that I spoke with.
You can mention that.
Just to let you know, payment app 13 is on stormwater, so it'll be going out today for it to be paid.
Right on.
Do we have any comments or questions for Mr. Anderson? Okay, I have, I guess, a question and a comment. So there's a section, I guess, east of what we're doing on US 20 that is alongside, well, I guess it is US 20, but it's east of Elkhart to, I don't know, what street? Pretty much where your office is at.
That's Gibson.
Right, so Gibson, or pretty much the west side of the double track property. So that stretch on US 20 still needs to be done. While we're doing stormwater mitigation for the portion that's under contract now, is it possible to extend stormwater relief by running additional pipes? Because the two streets east of Elkhart that run north and south flood. So is it possible to extend kind of where we're discharging stormwater pipes from those streets that run north and south outside of the project limit in order to mitigate the pooling and ponding that happens?
So if I'm not mistaken, that's actually a part of the next phase of the US 20 Complete Street project. So this phase is currently in construction, fully designed. The next phase is, if I'm not mistaken, and I'm pretty sure I'll be brought up, or I'll be, anyway, I think that next side is fully designed, but the construction on it has yet to happen. So after this phase is constructed, then that next phase east of Elkhart will be constructed, and then everything will be connected up. So that's kind of the MOT right now.
Okay, so that's good to know that it's already designed. We'll just be seeking funding in the meantime in order to get that project underway while hoping that we finish with this one shortly.
I think fingers are crossed on the design. I'm not sure if it is already designed, and the structure point is here, the design engineer. But what I want you to know is that the water is ponding there now because there is a broken pipe that is not allowing the water to flow into our source. I mean, or the conveyance system. And INDOT is aware of it. Why they didn't fix it, I don't know, because that's an INDOT.
So there's a broken pipe.
Blocked. You said blocked or broken?
Broken.
Whose pipe is it?
INDOT.
NDOT?
I mean, it's been that way now for won't be close to 10 years.
We've spoken with them?
We talked to them many times.
Have they acknowledged and stated that they're gonna fix it? Or are they opposing it?
Initially, they weren't even aware. They didn't know what is causing the flooding. GSD have to actually, do the investigation to find out what we identify and located where the drainage structures are. And we told them where it is. Then we did our televising. We showed them where the broken pipe was at. And then we've been calling them ever since. They didn't come out there to fix it.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
May I recommend that we authorize council to get with Mr. Owasika, figure out the issue, and council send IDM, NDOT in the letter, and indicate to them, we're improving the street, their project, broken pipe is an impediment to that. Can we do that?
And people are suffering in the meantime. Yeah. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
Thanks, guys.
thank you. Next, we have American Structure Point. Good idea, Mr. Lyle.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Time for typical project update. First up is 15th and Clay, the grit replacement. So good news on the IFA coordination front. We've received response from NRCS. We forwarded that to the IFA, so now we're just awaiting PER approval. I think that should be granted, so that's great. Our 30% design is complete, and we've met with GSD to present that. And now we're on to our 60% design, which will be completed by December of 27. Next is GSD 15th and Clay pump station screen replacement. We are drafting the preliminary engineering report for that project. That'll be done by the end of the year. Our survey work has been completed. Our geotechnical work is in progress. So we are doing the preliminary work this week, and the boring that we're getting on site will be installed on the 25th. We are moving forward with 30% design, which should be done by December 26th. And we're reaching out to manufacturers to get information on the bar screen and the gate that's going to be replaced. And that's moving along well. And then finally, our 27th and Chase Force Main project, Phase 3. This one's jumping. We're trying to get this one out to bid. We're trying to be 90% complete by November 21st, which is this week. It's coming. It's coming. So we're making great progress on that. Our plan profile sheets, as of Friday, we're 85% complete. Our maintenance traffic plan, that's done. Our phasing plan is done. Our front-end specs are 95% complete. Our tech specs are 90% complete. We've sent out our response letter to IFA. Structural plans will be completed by the 21st. Our general sheets are 90% complete. Our quantities and cost estimate are in progress, as well as our IDEM permit application. So we're looking to get that advertised by January 24th. So we'll have 90% plans ready for GSD review this week, and then we will go from there with whatever comments that we receive.
And I just want to point out that these are all of the Indiana Finance Authority projects that we are trying to move forward on, that we already got approval for.
Do you also have any involvement with the Calumet Stub project?
I do, yes. Just the lift station and the force main.
Okay. I didn't know if you would be able to kind of share, I guess, their progress.
Yeah. All we're doing is submittal review for them and any requests for information. So it's really BS Engineering who's handling the construction inspection.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions I can answer?
No, looks like that's it.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next brings us to discussion. Are there any items or topics that any of the members would like to discuss? Hearing none, are there any requests to speak?
No, sir.
Is there a motion for adjournment?
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Motion's been made and second for adjournment, meeting adjourned. Well, I gotta do it again because it was for both sanitary and storm. All right, so welcome again, everybody. This is the Gary Stormwater Management District meeting. Today is Monday, November 18th. Can we please have a roll call to establish quorum?
Director William Allen,
Present.
Director Ola Morris.
Present.
Director Maurice Mabon.
Present.
Director Darnell Lyles.
Present.
Director Willie Cook.
Present?
Attorney Jewel Harris Jr.
Present?
Interim Executive Director Brenda Scott Henry.
Present.
Finance Manager Jerome Foster.
Present.
And that's the end of roll call.
With all present, we have a quorum. We will do certification again since the item during executive session pertained to both sanitary and stormwater. So pursuant to Indiana law, section 5-14-1.5-6.1, I certify that prior to the start of today's meeting, there was an executive session, and nothing was discussed in the executive session that was not indicated on the posted notice. Being in compliance with Indiana statutes, there were no final votes held during the executive session. Does any member dissent? Hearing none, we'll move on to minutes.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion to accept the executive session and regular minute meetings of November 4, 2024.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion's been made and properly second to approve the minutes of November 4th, 2024. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Director Cook.
Yes.
Director Lyles.
Yes.
Director Mabon.
Yes.
Director Morris.
Yes.
Director Allen.
Yes.
The vote is 5 ayes, 0 noes.
With 5 ayes and 0 noes, the minutes have been approved. Next brings us to new business, 2.1. Mr. Foster?
Thank you. Make a motion to approve and ratify GSW MD payroll earnings for period ending October 21st, 2024 through November 3rd, 2024, in the amount of $9,466.95.
There's a recommendation for approval for payroll in the amount of $9,466.95. What is the pleasure of the board?
Move for passage.
Second, Mr. Chair.
Motion's been made and properly second for approval of payroll. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Director Cook.
Yes.
Director Lyles.
Yes.
Director Mabon.
Yes.
Director Morris.
Yes.
Director Allen.
Yes.
The vote is 5 ayes, 0 noes.
With 5 ayes and 0 noes, payroll has been approved. Next, we have 2.2.
2.2 is a motion to approve Gary Stormwater Management District Resolution SW 24-05, approving incentive pay to Gary Stormwater Management District to certain employees. And this is exactly the same, I would just use the same overview that we had prior to now, that for the Gary the Gary Sanitary District employees, the city is giving incentive pay we're doing incentive pay instead of merit pay this year, in the amount of $2,800 for all employees. I recommend approval.
There's a recommendation for 2.2 to approve incentive pay for employees under stormwater management. What is the pleasure of the board?
Move for passage.
Second, Mr. Chair.
A motion's been made and properly second for 2.2. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Director Cook.
Yes.
Director Lyles.
Yes.
Director Mabon.
Yes.
Director Morris.
Yes.
Director Allen.
Yes.
The vote is 5 ayes, 0 noes.
With 5 ayes and 0 noes, 2.2 has been approved. Next, we have 2.3.
2.3 is a motion to approve task order number 2 to the master service agreement by and between Gary Stormwater Management District and the Matrix Environmental for assistance with updating the technical standards manual in an amount not to exceed $42,550. If you recall, we completed the stormwater ordinance that was passed by City Council. City Council members had some questions that they wanted us to respond to, and our response to the City Council is that the items that they had concerns about could be updated in the technical standards. So now we talked with the consultant to identify what those were. I included the engineering services department. I also consulted with the city to find out if they were interested in updating their technical standards at the same time, but we all agreed that we should just focus on stormwater management district at this time. But this is a recommendation, the technical standards update is a response to questions that the city council had about our stormwater ordinance.
So their questions is costing us $42,500?
Well, it was going to, the technical standards is something that has to be updated with the stormwater, after the stormwater ordinance is completed anyway.
Okay.
So it's just a protocol. So once you update your ordinance with new laws that have been established, you also have to update your technical standards.
Okay, thank you.
And this is how we evaluate permits. Stormwater permits and how people impact our conveyance system, what we can do when they impact our conveyance system, and so forth. Attorney Monroe, you had anything you want to add there?
Salaries, with the 2,800, that was in there.
Oh, okay. Okay, because we took that off, right?
We did have that ordinance, and we did not want to go back and scrap the ordinance and start all over again. We just had it done, it's taken years to get it done, and we wanted to get that codified and onto the clerk's office. So to take care of that, we decided to fix it.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Anything else to add?
Nope, that's all.
Okay, so we have a recommendation for approval of 2.3, which is an agreement between the district and Metric Environmental in the amount not to exceed $42,550. What is the pleasure of the board?
Move for passage, Mr. Chairman?
Second, Mr. Chair.
Motion's been made and properly second for 2.3. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Director Cook,
Yes.
Director Lyles,
Yes.
Director Maybach,
Yes.
Director Morris,
Yes.
Director Allen.
Yes.
The vote is 5 ayes, 0 noes.
With 5 ayes and 0 noes, 2.3 has been approved. Next, we have 2.4.
2.4 is a motion to approve retaining Cigna insurance for healthcare coverage for Gary Stormwater Management District employees. I recommend approval. We've already given the overview.
Right, and this is mirroring what we already approved in
Yes.
sanitary. After hearing the recommendation for 2.4, what is the pleasure of the board?
Move for passage?
Second, Mr. Chair.
Motion's been made and properly second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Director Cook,
Yes.
Director Lyles,
Yes.
Director Maybach,
Yes.
Director Morris,
Yes.
Director Allen.
Yes.
The vote is 5 ayes, 0 noes.
With 5 ayes and 0 noes, 2.4 has been approved. Next, we have claims, 3.1. Mr. Foster?
Thank you. I'll make a motion to approve GSWMD claim number 179 in the amount of $435,408.95. This is for pay app 13 for Grimmer Construction. This has zero impact onto cash here. This is just a formality that was agreed with City Hall and to make sure that our engineers looked over the work, the board is approved, so this can be paid out of opera funds.
So, Mr. Foster, if it wasn't for Grimmer, we wouldn't have any claims for stormwater?
Well, we got number 2.1. That was it.
2.1.
That's
So-
payroll.
Well, on the claims list,
No, I'm talking about just the claim register.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
right, there's two outstanding, it's the actual two that Mr. Harris has for the property acquisition. So the timing of us getting that into the claims list is making sure that it was accurate, it was not included on there. So it would have been at least two.
Would that be added to this claim or the next claim?
It'll be added to the next claims list.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions? Hearing none, we have the recommendation for approval of claims in the amount of $435,408.95. What is the pleasure of the board?
Move for passage?
Second, Mr. Chair.
Motion has been made and seconded for approval of claims. Any discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Director Cook,
Yes.
Director Lyles,
Yes.
Director Maybon,
Yes.
Director Morris,
Yes.
Director Allen.
Yes.
The vote is 5 ayes, 0 noes.
With 5 ayes and 0 noes, claims have been approved. Next, we have information updates, MS4 updates.
Okay, updates for the MS4 program. First of all, I would want to just say thank you for approving the updates to the technical standards so we can move forward on that task. We held our MS4 team coordination meeting on November 13th, where all members of our team from MCM 1 through 6 provided updates on work that they have been doing. We did learn that, so because my schedule is a little heavy, I do assign staff to a 10-hour NISWAG meeting, and we often have about 4 to 5 people who attend that meeting. We are learning that IDEM is conducting their audits on construction and post-construction, and we will be prepared, but Monster was having their audit done last week, I believe it is. So we plan to coordinate with Monster and find out how did that go for them and see how it will be for other communities that may be audited this year. So looking forward to that so we can prepare. But mostly we are prepared because we keep our monthly reports together. The state normally just take the reports that we have, pick a couple of projects that are on our list, or pick a few items that are under this particular audit requirements, under the audit requirements for this one, construction and post-construction. And then probably check our records. What we are required to do is for every permit, we have the application and all of the associated documents. That information is kept manually as well as electronically, so we are prepared either way. And we have staff who's responsible for keeping that information. So if they decide to go out on a site and do a site inspection on an active construction site, we'll be prepared for that as well because we have staff who regularly goes out and inspects sites. In addition to that, we have contractors, especially our contractors, who complete a weekly inspection form to ensure that they're following the permit requirements. Upcoming events. On November 20th, this is an old package. This is some of the same information that we had before. But on November the 20th, we are hosting the Greater Gary Environmental Sustainability's working meeting. Is a workshop that we're hosting so that each of the subcommittees can formulate a work plan for 2025. I'm not sure how many members here. I know Ms. Morris is a part of that advisory council, but if there's other who just want to participate and understand what we're doing citywide with sustainable development, you can kind of come in and listen in. There's also opportunity to listen in via Teams. We'll have that set up as well, just in case you can't spend the whole 4 hours during the workshop.
What time is the workshop?
It starts at 10 a.m. through 2 p.m.
Okay, and location?
Location is here at GSD
Okay, GSD.
and virtually. That's all I have. If you have any questions for me, I'd be happy to respond.
Do we have any comments or questions? Okay, hearing none, thank you.
Okay.
Next, we have American Structure Point.
Good afternoon, Board. John Tucker, American Structure Point. A quick update on Lake Street drainage. We are scrambling to get everything done with the roadway out there. The rain today has definitely slowed paving. The hopes was to get the intermediate lift up to the bridge. That would have everything done up through surface. Up to that point, we were able to get the storm sewer completed from last meeting north of the bridge. Did have a water main conflict, but American Water reacted quickly, came out on a Friday, and then Grimmer was able to complete their work with within 48 hours, so that was nice for them moving in quickly. The roadway is graded, stone placed, curb has been placed north of the bridge. They're doing the gap work right now, and then we still have sidewalks still on the west side of the roadway, the place, and some driveways. There is no sidewalk on the east side, so that's less concrete work. The plan is to pave every single day that we have weather to do so, so the outlook the rest of this week is good. Temperature's still where they need it. So the cycle trail has been paved, has also been paved through surface. So right now, we need to surface the intersection at 3rd, and then we start from Cypress North with all our surface work. So if the base intermediate's not ready yet for north of the bridge, they will continue to do as much surface as they can to get that buttoned up. Most of our sidewalk gaps have been completed up through Hemlock as well. American Water did some adjusting on some of their work. So that'll be the big push, is to continue to go through. Again, the completion is to try to get everything done through road work, curb work, all the hardscape work. There will be some restoration work that will happen come spring. Hopefully, we'll be able to back up curb and sidewalk once that all gets placed, so we can get that all graded prior to winter time as well. So that's update as to what's happening there right now. If there's any questions, I'd be happy.
Yeah, just to
Yes, sir.
clarify, all the underground utility work is complete.
Yes.
So the only thing that's remaining is just surface level, asphalt, concrete, landscaping,
Yes.
lighting. I don't recall.
Hawk was on site today. They should have all the conduit and foundations all the way up to our north and limits of the project done today. And then they'll follow that up with wire and the actual light poles itself.
Okay, so
They
the,
are-
so the light poles aren't set yet?
They are not.
Okay. And then for striping, is that something that is being looked at doing next year with the landscaping, or is striping also something that you're trying to do before the year end?
If we get the weather, we'll try to get it in there, but more than likely that'll happen next year in the spring with the weather. The temperatures will be the biggest factor on the striping, at least the permanent striping. If we need to do any temporary striping in areas, where
Okay,
that
yeah, that was gonna be my
road,
next
yes,
question. Yeah.
we will have temporary striping placed so that we can have it open, secure for the winter.
And so, I guess what options for striping are you looking at? Paint, stickers?
Once again, it'll probably be weather dependent. If we get good weather and it's pavement's dry, the paint would probably be the better scenario than temp tape. But we'll have to kind of evaluate that as we move forward, and then really evaluate the areas that need it. Most of the areas we've reduced, so you have a parking lane, but everything's flowing. We'll make sure if there's any certain situations that need the striping for the winter, we'll get those areas addressed as soon as we can.
So-
The biggest thing would be if we get surface, keep moving forward, that'll give us more opportunities to get the pavements, the striping done as well.
So
Sorry.
you're on schedule?
We're on schedule for the roadway itself. We're not on schedule for the overall project completions, no.
Okay. All right.
That'll still be come spring, as I've mentioned before, with the restoration, with the delays that they had in the previous years, kept pushing where we're at this year. But the biggest goal was to not have any roadway work, to extend through the winter, to have that open up. That's been the biggest push. But yes, unfortunately, we won't make the 24 final completion. We'll have some restoration, completion come spring.
Okay.
Okay, and then I guess just for the public too, so, well, when you have rainy days, obviously that knocks you back, but when you have weather that's 50 degrees and rising, that's pretty much where you want to be when you're laying out asphalt.
The asphalt, correct, yes.
Concrete, fingers crossed that we don't get, a lot of cold, but that's something that you guys are prepared to continue doing?
There's opportunities to do winter protection so that we can
Okay.
get the concrete in, and that is the intent of Grimmer, is to get all the concrete in as well.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Any other comments or questions?
No.
Yes, sir?
Did you speak with Dr. Simpson? Probably not.
I did not. I had that buried in a note, and I just realized I did fail to do that. I will talk to that. I did walk the property to look what was there. I did notice the sprinkler, which was just beyond the back of sidewalk, so I will have that conversation. I do apologize to the board. I did miss that one.
And then, when it comes to the quantities and, potential savings to go further north for the milling and paving, Is that still being looked at? Do we?
I'm still crunching all the numbers as we go forward there. I mean, we will probably not have opportunities to do any of the milling, that type of work this year, but we'll know where all the final numbers are, so that we can get some opportunities to still extend come spring. That'll probably where we look at,
Okay.
but it's, just trying to get everything to keep balancing out on site.
Okay. All right, if there's no other questions or comments, okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Next, we have Robinson Engineering.
Good afternoon, Directors. Ron Smith with Robinson Engineering. Just a couple of updates. The Community Crossings paving project was 100% completed. The engineering department for the Stormwater District did review the drainage structures, and they had no comments about any of the drainage structure improvements that was complete on the project. I will be meeting with the engineering department this week to go over a drainage issue that we have on Fifth and Taft, so we can scope out a task order for that project. That's all the updates I have for this afternoon. I'll entertain any questions that the directors may have.
Do you have any questions from any other directors?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
And everyone have a happy day of giving thanks next week.
You too, thank you.
Turkey Day.
Same to you.
You don't forget, Billy.
Next, we have a discussion. Any directors have any items to discuss? Okay, hearing none, are there any requests to speak? All right, is there a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Second, Mr. Chair.
Motion's been made and second. Thank you, everyone. Meeting adjourned.